Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at the fourth boss in the Siege of Orgrimmar, the Sha of Pride. During this fight, all players have a Pride bar, and the Pride resource is a central element of the encounter. Here's how Pride works. Whenever a player takes damage from a boss ability, they gain 5 Pride. The boss casts an ability called Swelling Pride every 60 seconds, dealing damage to all raid members and causing an additional special effect for each player it hits depending on how much pride that player has, though this only applies to players with 25 or more pride. So, someone who has between 25 and 49 pride has a void zone created at their location when Swelling Pride is cast, which then deals damage in a 5-yard radius a few seconds later. Players who have between 50 and 74 pride have a void zone created at a location near them which explodes 6 seconds later, dealing raid-wide damage unless the respective player stands in their void zone. Each player's specific void zone is indicated to that player with a green arrow, as you can see here. Players who have between 75 and 99 pride gain a debuff which lasts for 25 seconds and causes these players to deal very high damage to all nearby raid members every half a second. Players who have 100 pride become permanently mind-controlled when Swelling Pride is cast. Do note that pride is not reset each time Swelling Pride is cast, and in fact you gain 5 pride each time. This means that you need to be very careful about how much pride you have because there really aren't any second chances. The boss uses several other abilities, as you might expect. There is an ability that forces a tank switch. There is another ability that regularly summons a large add which attempts to damage random players, increasing their pride, but this can be interrupted. There is an ability that is cast regularly which summons small adds at the locations of all raid members which deal damage in an area when they spawn. There is an ability called Corrupted Prison, which targets a random raid member and basically stuns them in one of the 4 prisons located around the room. While stunned, this player gains large amounts of pride, and the player can only be freed if 2 other raid members stand on the prison's locks, as you can see here. Moreover, the Sha of Pride will regularly debuff players with a dot that deals shadow damage until the end of the fight, but which can be dispelled. That said, dispelling the dot causes the dispeller to gain 5 pride. There is a mechanic called Gift of the Titans which grants random players, but always at least one healer, immunity to pride gains for 10 seconds, so dispels can be done during this time. Also, if the players who have the Gift of the Titans buff stack together, they gain a buff called Power of the Titans, which increases their haste, damage, and healing done by 35% for 15 seconds. Finally, when the boss reaches 30% health, everyone's pride is reset and the boss begins dealing high raid-wide damage every 10 seconds, which of course causes players to gain 5 pride each time as well. This is probably when heroism or bloodlust will best be used. While the encounter may seem complex from the number of abilities, it is actually quite simple to execute. We hope you enjoyed this preview and we thank you for watching.